Computing, a hacker is any highly skilled computer expert capable of breaking into computer systems and networks using bugs and exploits. Depending on the field of computing, it has slightly different meanings, and in some contexts has controversial moral and ethical connotations. In its original sense, the term refers to a person in any one of the communities and hacker subcultures. Hacker, computer security. People involved with circumvention of computer security. This primarily concerns unauthorized remote computer break-ins via communication networks such as the Internet, black hats, but also includes those who debug or fix security problems, white hats, and the morally ambiguous gray hats. Gray hats are hackers who are neither good nor bad, and often include people who hack for fun or to troll. They may both fix and exploit, though gray hats are usually associated with black hat hackers. Black hats are hackers with malicious intentions, and steal, exploit, and sell data. They are usually motivated by personal gain. White hats are hackers employed with the efforts of keeping data safe from other hackers by looking for loopholes and hackable areas. This type of hacker typically gets paid quite well, and receives no jail time due to the consent of the company that hired them. Hackers have been around since the dawn of computers, and they've wreaked more havoc than many people realize. Law enforcement has yet to catch up with many of their antics. Here is a roundup of the most well-known hackers and what they've become infamous for in the hacker community. Adrian Lamo. Adrian Lamo was known as the homeless hacker for his transient lifestyle. Despite that, he was able to hack into the internal computers of the New York Times in 2002. This hack gave Lamo access to private databases, including one that had the private information of more than 3,000 people who had contributed to the paper's op-ed section. He was sentenced to 2 years of probation and fined nearly $65,000. Most recently, Lamo was back in the headlines for turning in Chelsea Manning for leaking classified U.S. Army documents. Vladimir Levin. Vladimir Levin was a Russian hacker who in 1995, broke into Citibank's computers and allegedly stole nearly $10 million by rewiring it to various global accounts. The most famous part of Levin's hack was that he did not use the Internet to commit his crime. Instead, he tapped into telecommunications systems to listen to customers rattle off their private account information. All but $400,000 of his winnings were able to be recovered by the authorities. Ultimately, he pleaded guilty to just one charge of making $3.7 million in unauthorized transfers, the Wall Street Journal reported. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay back $240,000 to Citibank. Albert Gonzalez. Albert Gonzalez executed one of the largest known identity thefts the world has ever seen. In 2010 he was sentenced to 20 years in prison after confessing to stealing millions of personal credit and debit cards accounts. He was accused of stealing as many as 170 million credit card numbers, the Associated Press reported. Gary McKinnon. Gary McKinnon was a Scottish computer hacker who was able to gain access 97 American military networks between 2001 and 2002. He reportedly left the military a message on its website to, "Your security is crap." A computer prodigy by the age of 14, McKinnon was known for his preternatural way of infiltrating closely guarded computer networks. What's of note about McKinnon, beyond his insanely good hacking abilities, is that he was on a quest to prove the existence of UFOs. In fact, McKinnon claims that he was able to access images of potential alien spacecrafts during his hacks, although his connection was too slow to actually download the photographs. The U.S. has tried to extradite him, but he still lives in the UK's asylum. Kevin Powelson. Kevin Powelson was known as Dark Dante, a young 20-something hacker with a penchant for mischief. His alleged exploits include hacking into the Louisiana phone networks to ensure he won a prize from a radio show and even hacking into the phone calls of a Hollywood starlet, according to the New York Times. After the feds started looking at him, Powelson went on the run for 17 months. He was featured on the popular TV show Unsolved Mysteries. In what is considered one of the most famous hacks, when the show displayed a phone number for viewers to call and they had any information, the phone lines for the program went instantly dead. After serving time for his online crimes, Paulson turned to journalism. He now serves as a contributing editor at Wired. The Syrian Electronic Army. The Syrian Electronic Army is perhaps the most well-known currently active global hacking group around today. It began in 2011 as a rogue online group in support of the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Instead of stealing data, the C merely wreaks havoc. It's caused distributed denial of service (DOS) attacks on numerous websites, and it has hacked into and spammed well-known websites like Twitter and Facebook. Their targets are generally Western-leaning Syria-opposing organizations. Famous C victims include The New York Times, The Onion, The Huffington Post, and LinkedIn. Max Ray Butler, who went by the alias Iceman, was a computer security consultant who turned into one of the world's biggest hackers. Arrested in 2007, Iceman digitally stole 2 million credit card numbers and ran up over $86 million in fraudulent charges. The federal authorities accused him of operating an online forum known as Carter's Market, where hackers bought and sold stolen financial data. Butler is serving a 13-year sentence, which was the longest punishment ever inflicted on a hacker at the time. Astra is the pseudonym of a Greek hacker who infiltrated the computers of the French aviation company Dassault Group and stole weapons technology data for over 5 years. The information he accessed included confidential data about jet fighters and other military-grade aircrafts. Astra then sold this secret information to numerous countries over a span of 5 years. As a result of this infamous hack, Dassault's losses hit more than $360 million. The actual identity of Astra has never been identified, but when he was apprehended in 2008 the authorities described him as a 58-year-old mathematician. Anonymous is the name of the decentralized activist group known for launching online hacking campaigns in support of current political and social events. Anonymous's mascot is the Guy Fawkes mask. The group began in 2003 in the online forum 4chan. It first began as a way for online members to collectively pull pranks, but it morphed into an online vigilante service looking for justice. The group has targeted the Church of Scientology, the KKK, PayPal, and many other high-profile institutions. It is known for its tagline, "We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive."